not many things. Ideally, by the rules of presentations that we teach in the class, it should not be there. We say that 6 by 7 rule. So it can be sort of 6 lines and 7 words in each line is the ideal thing. So I have inserted the title, which will be removed later on at the end, and only the credentials will remain. So we are talking about this thing. My name is this, and I've got 3 things to share. One is the link tree that I have already shared. I've got podcasts by the name Teacher Parv podcasts. Like being a teacher is a celebration. So the Hindi word Parv, the celebration, the festival, is being added to teacher. The blog about which it was also mentioned in the introduction is Eklavya Parv. So now, certain things, and I'm happy that I'm talking to teachers who are well aware of the things which are going to be on the screen, my dear friends. We use WebEx, we use Zoom, we use Google Meet, we use technology, we don't use technology, we don't use any innovation, but still how we are remembered is defined by the things that we go to. The word from my side is choices. So this person said this thing, and I love reading these quotations from them. They say, and he said this thing, it says, we are our choices. So going by this animation, my dear friends, be it in cities or we are any part of the country, we are all our choices. There are 3 things that I wish that we all choose. We should keep in mind that when we are talking about audio e-content today, something will happen to you that will be learning, something which always happens to me, and to you it might happen, a revision of my thoughts, that I unlearn things, certain things which are there and they no more remain applicable to the classroom. So the passiveness has not remained active anymore. Relearning is there, that we need to relearn certain things. Certain things are there, we learn them again, so we strengthen our practice, and not a perfection, but still our choices are affirmed. So learning, unlearning, and relearning, 3 things will happen today. The first thing which I'm going to insist on as a skill to the teachers is communication, and the second skill is collaboration, the third one is called creativity, and the fourth one, my dear friends, is called critical thinking. If you go to internet and type these 4 words, you will reach a place or many millions of web pages, and these pages say the 21st century skills are these 4. So these 4 skills are called 21st century skills. And what I'm going to offer you today is podcasting, audio e-content, innovations in disseminating the content with the learners by the means of audios, means only the listening things. And there's one thing, how many of you have believed in out of the box thinking? So that might be a change from my side, just an intervention. If you have believed that, hey, think out of the box, I got this quotations, I placed this quote on my WhatsApp, or some DP has been placed where it says think out of the box. So if you have believed in think out of the box, this strange 21st century, the century of information, the century of information as a weapon, has actually redefined the meaning and the connotations of this creativity thing. Now we say there's no need to think there's a box at all. So there is no box. I'm a person who studied English literature and language, have been teaching communication skills, and have been tempted towards technology. So there's no box at all for me. For you also, there's no box at all. So we don't need to go in the box and then think of coming out of it. We know that there is no box for learners. We can just learn and learn and learn. So if you people believe, and I do know that you do, if you're a lifelong learner, then podcasting has to be your skill. But before that, there are certain points that I'll be presenting to you. Ultimately, you are going to end up becoming a storyteller. The need of the hour, as the cliched term or the set of words goes, the need of the hour is that teachers should go back to the old school of storytelling in the classes, because students have lost interest not in teachers. They have lost interest in the narration that we have been doing. They have lost interest in the sharing that we have been doing. They have not lost interest in life or learning. They have lost interest in the mode of teaching. So this particular thing can be something. You're going to like these animations. I'm pretty sure about it. So the door opens. There should be a hook. There should be a hook. So you have to grab the attention. You say, yes, we will do. And most of you are going to say, yeah, we have been doing all these things. And the reason of telling you that you have been fantastic, fabulous, Or what they say, there was a word that I got from Roshan Abbas. One day we had a podcasting session through Pepper Content, and he was talking about some term. I'll share that with you. You have to be flawed to be awesome. So they said that we teachers are flawed because we don't follow the rules, the old rules that make children sleep. So you have to be flawsome. Means flawed means a bit different. So grab the attention. The second door says, yeah, flawsome was there. So tone, you have to have a tone. So the tone doesn't mean the what do you say, lethargy or idleness. Tone means that it's written here, so it matters how you say it. I had two words to. I read a letter, like I did some voiceover for a friend. A letter came from the neighboring country to one of the friend who was here. So I was reading it. It was in English. There were two words: salam, ram ram. So these two words were the salutations in the beginning and the end also. So most of the energy that I had to gather was how I'm going to say the two words salam, ram ram. So such was the tone which was required. Improvise, we teachers are best at this magical thing. We improvise and there's no bound to it. Nobody can stop. You see, you don't need to see an apple falling from the tree these days. You can see a bird flying, you can see a peacock outside, you can see some grasslands beyond the classroom. You can see a child is expressing something and then you relate to it. The moment a teacher sees something happening around, a teacher is the only being on this worthy planet who can improvise and play with the words, and we are authorized. We have got a very nice constitution in education in which teachers are the most powerful people. They can improvise, they can innovate with what they have in hand. And the fourth one is collaborate, join with the listeners, and listeners should join you. Then it becomes a good story. Why I'm insisting on a story? Because we all are primarily things which are going to be remembered. So these are certain techniques, and I'm not going to spend much time on it. Like you immerse them in your stories. You tell a personal story. Doesn't mean a confidential or intimate one, but you bring your life in the stories which relates to the subject. You do create suspense, and you do bring your characters to life. Doesn't mean they start walking like shakalaka boom boom pencil or some other magic wand, but no, you try to bring them. In literature, this is what we learned, that we have to be in the shoes of the character if we are going to write about it. So this is what my unending quest into podcasting. I'm a decade old child into podcasting, sort of more than a decade, I would say now. I worked with Amity University, Noida, and those 7 years of teaching communication skills in English as an assistant professor there taught me how we can make best use of social media. And the model which got established is called, known, can be searched over the web as media, education through social media. This term came into existence from our worthy country, and this came into existence because students and teacher came together. I'm not saying teachers, now that's deliberate. Now then I started Uniskills, and then we have been working on upskilling, skill development. In 2018 we started something called Learning Radio. So now I'm on a journey which is educational podcasts. Fortunately, but unfortunately as well, I have been alone in taking sessions on podcasting. When we had a word and then we were talking about the topics decision, Professor Lal gave me this liberty to choose something, and then we could zero in on something that nobody else is taking. So I wish that if there are 700, there are 70 of you, all of you become podcasting trainers to teachers, be it NCRT or CIET or be it any other university. Teachers do need to learn how they can be on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and these. So this was the award which came, and I was in a list on the second one. The first one is a very popular RJ and VJ mantra. Now let's start with this one. This is a question, and I'm not waiting for your answer. I know you know this thing. What makes a good teacher great? You know this, but if you're going to start your show, answer this question for me in the first show or in the introductory show, where you streamline the things that make a good teacher great. But what makes a good teacher great is teaching and learning, which is a lifelong learning. So let's get to learning, and let's start with these GIF images. And these animations that you have seen around or you'll see now have been designed and curated through a YouTube channel, which is a PowerPoint University, the name is. So these are certain shows One is Man Ki Baat by the Honorable Prime Minister. You might have listened to this also, or you have heard about Michelle Obama's podcast. BBC has got a dedicated platform called BBC Sounds. They do have an application as well, which can be installed and which sends you audio episodes. These are some friendly podcasts. I know them, they know me. We have been trying to work on podcasting, but they are professional podcasters. I'm not a professional podcaster. I am somebody who is just doing the teaching educational podcasting, saying what I want to say. So these are all podcasts, my dear friends. You can search them. Musafir Stories has been one of the most popular podcasts around the world about Indian travel logs. So you can search for the Musafir Stories and you will love them because they introduce you to the hidden treasure of Indian history. So we had a short course of 1 month. Professor Ramesh Sharma, RC Sharma ji, who is going to meet you as well, and Professor Lal knows him. He is the reason or the path for me to get into this FDP. So with him, we had a course which was launched by Ambedkar University Delhi, Dr. B.R. Ambedkar University Delhi. So this is the pioneer course which was for teachers, and we have got more than 65 podcast channels made by teachers who were participants in this course, and that was the condition. So that's just on the left hand side, it's an image from the memoirs or memories. Now, Shruti is listening and Smriti is learning. So if you listen, you learn, and that goes to memory. So memorization or that remembrance of things is related directly to your listening. If you do not listen, you don't remember. And now, audio in education is going to be affordable. Affordability of time and affordability of money, both the things are affordable. Somebody can work something, and like if you go to, there's a pilgrimage or there's a Tirth Sthan in the north, Vaishno Devi. So we go there, and then I'm sharing the price tag now. If you take a helicopter, it's 8 minutes. Yeah, Katra to the other place is called Sanji Chat. So the traveling, which generally takes hours for people who walk and who cannot walk, the price is 3,500 rupees to and fro in the helicopter, and the time that will be taken is 8 minutes to and 8 minutes from there. So affordability is many times in terms of the benefit you get also. So it saves time. Audio is less heavy on the hands to work on and less heavy on the people to watch as well. So affordability is there. And what about digital well-being? You must be bothered, and if you are not bothered, you should be. There is something which is happening to the eyes. There is something which is happening to this part of the neck. There is something which is happening to these joints here, and I'm saying it by experience. There is something which is happening to our physical well-being in this forced digital panacea. Maybe we'll say that save education and teach online. Everything cannot be taught online, and everybody cannot sit online all the time. So the digital well-being can also come if audio is already there. So this faculty of hearing and listening can be used. Now, just a short flashback. This is how music streaming or audio listening started. These two things. The second one is there with me in a box, but I don't have a player anymore. So I'm searching for that one so that my old cassettes can be played again. Old is gold, they say. So then came this thing. When I was in master's degree in 2003 and 5, we had these things around us in our neighborhood. Means in the hostels we had. Then came the iPod when I was doing my job. Maybe means in my life it came in 2009 and 10, but iPod came in 2004. So and then came such this mysterious things called educational podcast. So this is the journey of audio, and just some basic tips. Broadcasting is All India Radio is doing something that is called broadcasting, which starts from Delhi and which goes to all parts of the country. And there's a local channel in channel FM channel they call it. So the local FM radio station is there, that is called narrowcasting. So using a satellite or transmitter, when you transmit audio, we call it broadcasting. Large areas and short small distance, we call it narrowcasting. But my dear friends, when you're using internet, when you're using web, we call it podcasting, audio casting. All the voice messages, and I'm happily referring to it that I and Professor Lal, we were also interacting through audio messages over the WhatsApp. And when it is organized, we call it a podcast. Otherwise, we call it voice messages. However, that was a podcasting thing in which audio goes, audio comes, and there's an interaction happening. So I come back to the same reference that I made. You have always been using all the technologies. The thing is, you need to bring them to education. And why you should bring them to education is, of course, teaching is, yes, we all are teachers. But my dear friends, my dear worthy friends, in the beautiful part of the country or this whole planet, Kerala, when I mention it, or you're related to Kerala by being a participant as well, we also need to have this thing. कभी अपने बारे में भी सोचिए. Think of your own self, the one, the fabulous person you were in your college life, in your education career, when you used to speak on the stage, and now you have just become a scientist or a researcher, and you're sitting in the lab or you're sitting in any part of your office, and you're not feeding your interests. So self enhancement will happen after today. Your social profile will be there, people will know you. You are going to sing your story, and singing doesn't mean only the musical notes. Singing also means that when you're happy, that's music. Every language is music. For me, every language is poetry actually. So you speak Malayalam, you speak Hindi, you speak Urdu, you speak Tamil, Telugu, Kannada, or any language. The moment you speak a language, that's poetry. There is no need to like bring any other thing. So travel diaries you can also do. But today what we are talking about is, we are talking about creating podcasts for me, for you, educational podcasts. You talk about any maybe cooking or fashion designing. You talk about travelogues. You talk about science for everyone. You talk about stories. You talk about literature. You talk about any technology as well. Speak anything, but when it goes from teachers, this person believes that it is only education. Anything that a teacher speaks is education. So teachers, let's make podcasts on a platform today. That platform is called Anchor, Anchor. So what you are going to do is, you're going to go to a website. If you want to do it live with me, Anchor is the website on which I want you to go, Anchor, and you are going to go to anchor.fm. So anchor.fm is an undertaking, or a subsea, you can say, what do they call it? There's a word. So I go with the word undertaking because it's a initiative by Spotify. So Spotify is the major company which earns money, and they have got this platform, this venture is there, which is called Anchor, and this is completely free. And Anchor is used for three things. Number one, we call it a creator. Then we have got something which is there as a player or a streaming platform, and the third one is called distribution. Answer this question now. When you publish a book, when a book is published, you need a particular category of people, and that organization is also called something. It starts with the D of Delhi. That you need, after publisher till the shop, there is something in between. What is that? Like, I have published a book. Like, all of us wrote a book, and then we are searching for the books travel from the publishing house. Thank you, Vidyashriji. This is called distributors. So if I have prepared a song, or I have prepared an audio story, or I have written a book that is being published, that particular book or a story or something is going to be taken to the, yes, dealer is also there. The dealers are going to get it from the distributors, the shopkeeper. So these distributors are required, and publishers pay them. Many times the P&D is the same, but distributors charge money. Distributors are the people who earn actually. Now, if I want you to bring your work, as you bring it on YouTube, and YouTube says it is free, but Spotify will charge you if you come through the commercial distributors, but Anchor is a free distributor. You make your audio channel here. In simple terms, I'll mention it once and will never mention it in the presentation. We are talking about, in a way, not in actual, we are talking about creating a YouTube of your audio. To repeat, we are talking about creating, like a channel that you have seen on YouTube, we are talking about creating an audio channel on Anchor. The way people go to YouTube to watch your lessons, your videos, they will come to Anchor or the platforms where Anchor distributes it. Spotify, Google Podcasts to cite in the beginning, and later on Apple and Ghana as well. So we are talking about that. So let's start. But what's the purpose of making a podcast? You can tell me in the chat. You can keep it in your mind as well, whether you will do all these things or a few things will be done by you. Please remember, we are talking about self enhancement of teachers. We are not talking about the classroom teaching only. So what are the things you'll be doing? If you are an RJ or you have your online radio, that's what I call it. What is that thing that you will be doing? To insist on and to request you all, my dear friends, my dear fellow teachers, please engage the young generation which is there in your classrooms and which will come in the next 5 years as well. And those who came in the last 5 years, this transitional decade is the decade which is having old age people, the elders, those who we have around us, like the grandparents that we have, that's the last generation which knows about our roots. So it is possible that we can document the heritage and the folk culture and the stories and the tales and the history of even our own family. So these audios can be recorded and you can create audiobooks, you can read your own books, be it sciences or anything. Like if you come up with a question that sir, there are certain topics in physics and chemistry which cannot be brought into audio. I'll repeat it. I'll throw the ball back to you like a boomerang it goes. I would say, yes, that's what I'm saying. If there are certain things which cannot be brought into audio, just because of that thing, we are not bringing the things into audio which can be brought into audio. Means if there is an explanation of a law, maybe Newton's law or some other law, which doesn't require an image, and even if there is an image which is required, that can be sent via WhatsApp, and you can tell them that go and search on Google Baba and then find that image, and they can do that. So Anchor website, this is the home page. And if somebody is doing it live with me, you can let me know. If you're not doing it, yes, OER is open educational resources. Open educational resources are those resources that you put on internet and you set it free for people to use them. There is no copyright. There is no, rather than saying copyright, there is no restriction on the use. I won't say, because you want them to cite your name. If you're going to use the resources that I'll be sharing with you today after the session, all the tutorials that we are watching now will be coming to you on a small link. If you're going to share my resources with someone else, I'll say yes, they are free for you. You can, it's all yours. I just wish that you name me, you give me a citation, or you just mention me as the source. So that's what we call OER, open educational resources. You can just Google them and then you'll find a good number of things about it. And we can also talk about it in the FDP later on. Say it all with Anchor. Anchor is a platform like Wikipedia or YouTube or Gmail or any other website. Now we create, we distribute, and we monetize your podcast, and all for free. And don't worry, there are certain things which are free as well. And there is no paid feature in Anchor itself. So whatever is there in Anchor is there for free. Like in Canva or even YouTube has got a paid feature. So here all the features are free. Monetize. In India, it's not allowed for now. In the US, yes, you can monetize, and they know it from where we are using the internet. So first of all, we go to this website, and after going to this website, we make an account. And I'm requesting you to make an account by going to anchor.fm. And this session is not just for you. If you've got children around you who can be good presenters of audio shows, motivate them, inspire them, guide them to become podcasters. If you cannot be Arjun, then you can be Dronacharya and teaching them how to do it. Anchor application allows you to record 30 minutes single segment. You can keep on recording it, and mobile app gives 120 minutes. However, this duration changes sometimes. You can just start the smartphone application or the browser recorder, and then it goes on and you keep on speaking and it gets recorded. Later on, you can trim it. Trim means like in between there was a segment of 1 minute or 30 seconds that you want to remove. So that much editing, I'm insisting, that much editing is allowed here. Audio editing is possible, but only to trim. You can add background music also. You can add some transitions. There's a word that we use to read in dramas, interludes. Like you shift from one place and ting tong, and then the second segment comes. So that in between music is called here the transitions, and the background music is background music. Free distribution. Now you know what distribution is, and this is what about Anchor. I'm showing you the web interface and the app interface, and then I'll demo this thing for you as well. So this is the website version. I guess you can see this pretty well if you're doing it live as well. However, I haven't got any message in chat who says that I'm doing it live. So you can do it later on as well. Not a problem. Not at all. Like there's no difference in doing it now and later on. But This is what I'm insisting. Don't be trapped in the ease of, thank you, I've got somebody who's trying. And the best word for teachers is trying because that starts with T. Now go make an account. I'm insisting make an account. Don't log in with the Gmail or Facebook or Apple ID. There are certain platforms where you can log in. You just click. They say, "Hey, who will make a password now? Let me click. I'll use my Gmail account, which is already there, and then go on." I'm requesting you. I'm instructing you. Don't do it. So when you sign up, give it a full name. Write your full name, please remember name, and then write your correct email ID through which you want to make an account, and then set a password. Three things are there. You go to sign up page. Maybe you might be trying to log in, then you won't be. There's a small word called sign up. Rather than log in, you're going to sign up. So sign up with your name, email ID, and a password, and then click on I'm not a robot. So, my repeated question, what will Sophia do here? I'm not a robot. If Sophia would have been there in this session, what would have been the reply or the action by Sophia or her sister? Now, who is Sophia? Find out. Full name Praveen Kumar Praveen Sharma with a space, like the correct way to write the name. Email address, this is my email address, and a password that you can remember. Don't tell it to others. And then I'm not a robot, so I'm not a robot. And then sign up. After signing up, my dear friends, wait, and wait, but not much. You will be getting an email from them, and before that email your account is not verified. So what you're going to get, you'll be getting a confirmation email. And look, don't be in a hurry. So when you get your confirmation email, this slide I'm skipping because I believe nobody has a podcast already. If somebody has, post session we can talk about RSS feed as well. So my dear friends, confirm your account, and this might take a time and then take time, and then I'll move ahead and, not speed, but still I will. आप में से जिन लोगों को हिंदी समझ में आती होगी, एक एक बात है बड़ी अच्छी सी, एक नासिर राव साहब का शेर है, कपलेट है. I'll translate in English as well. He said, and I quote, this is how like we have been doing it in all the presentations. I've seen people doing it. I don't do that. Now, सवाल ये नहीं कि रफ्तार किसकी कितनी है, सवाल ये नहीं कि रफ्तार किसकी कितनी है, सवाल ये है कि सलीके से कौन चलता है. It doesn't matter who has what speed and what tempo. What matters is who has, the simple word is mannerism, or the decency of walking ahead. So we are talking about the decency, we are talking about the grip. So we have got Dr. Catherine who's walking with full support. So you have verified it. Verification means you're going to log in through the link which comes to your email. So log in. Once you have logged in, you will see a page. The page will have some random things. Don't bother about them. First of all, do remember, you need to have a show. If you're going to write a book, if I ask you to name my house, my home, like we make a school or college or a university, and I want you to name it, I want you to give me the most beautiful, interesting, inspiring name which identifies with you and your dream of creating a channel. Think of that name because you're going to give this name to your show right now if you're going to make it now or later on as well. So go to your account after logging in, go to the right hand side, click on the small icon which is having the first letter of your name, and then you will find a button called update settings. So the drop down menu takes you to update settings. You go to update settings. When you click on update settings, you find these two things. One is podcast settings and one is account settings. Maybe Professor Catherine might be getting to this as well. So in the podcast settings, my dear friends, you will be writing the name of the podcast. That's not you. Means if my name is Praveen, my show is Teacher Parv. My name is Praveen, my show is Sahitya Radio, or it is Learning Radio, or it is Podmooks, or it can be other name as well. So please think of a name, give it a name, and write it in proper words. The way you write things, the capital sentence case, or the way you want to write it. Give it a description. Description is that this podcast is about this. Write about it. It is about the show. Show's name, about the show, and a cover art. You know what is a cover art? Cover art is, what is a cover art? Cover art is cover photo, image, logo, we can call it. So decide these three things and decide them because they are required to be there without putting colors to my home, I'm not going to invite you to the housewarming, because then you will say, now it is done. We can enter and then we can appreciate what it is. In the account setting, the owner's name, the email ID of the owner, and the website of the owner. Why this is in small font? If you don't have a website, don't bother about it. Leave it blank. But your name and your email ID is required. And because you have made an account, so email ID might be there in advance. You can keep it, but you can write your name properly with a P and a K, or as small letters or capital, you know it, how we write names. Podcast name, podcast description, and cover art. That is one. Account settings, your name, your email ID, your website. Some of you might see something which is not on my screen. That will be, are you going to put explicit content? Are you? No, won't do that. So clean, keep the clean selected. Will you be making something from the category of education, fashion, stories, politics, news, current affairs, something? Select the category of it and then select the language also. The language in which, yeah, it is always editable. Anything which came from update settings is always editable. What is not editable is, you can delete your account with one email ID. You can make one account. So there are not many things which are not editable in on internet has got such a good thing in it. Its character is editable that way. So you can edit the name, description, and cover art. But I would request, before you finalize the name, description, cover art, don't launch your podcast links to others. And that's a practical advice that came to me also when I was learning it. Mm, the secret is, in, like, my mentors had wished me that I would be able to learn the things that I wish to, so I have been learning it. I couldn't get a mentor who could taught me how to do podcasting, so it always happened to me by my own self. And that's why I'm willing to, like, see hundreds and thousands of teachers into teaching podcastings. So update settings, the word distribution will not be visible to you because you have not published a book. So how can you have a distribution of it? So once you have made one episode, this word called distribution will start coming. Before that, forget about it. So you update all these things, my dear friends. Once you have done it, this is how it looks. I guess you can see this. Anchor website is there on the top. The URL is there. The new accounts made these days are not allowed to customize their URL. So forget about it. Change the category, decide the language, the cover art. This is the podcast title by the account setting. If you remember, I wrote my name. This is the description, and this is the art of the channel. This is the logo, we can call it, and this is the dashboard. So when you have logged in, this is the dashboard you will see, and you should appreciate and love it because you have edited all the things there. Once you have done this, my dear friends, this is a thing which is distribution, which comes later after making an episode. And once the distribution word has got something to distribute, you will start getting emails from Anchor. It says, now your podcast is on Google Podcast, now your podcast is on what is this, Pocket Casts, Radio Public, or Spotify. So once it is there, the small clips that you see on the right hand side with these arrows, you can just click there and it is selected. I mean, you click there and it is selected. So that is what happens. Now, I guess we are moving at a fine speed now, but we are going to make actual podcasts in a minute. This is the word when you click on new episode. After this slide, I'll drive you to the live demonstration of the web browser. Before that, what is the full form of RMLT? And now that's a difficult question. What is the full form of RMLT? RMLT. Now, tough question, the toughest one. And these are not the pranks that teachers play, but I'm still asking you, what is the full form of RMLT? And anything that you see on the screen is something that I want you to spend time here, because there are certain questions which will be answered. And the red one, the white text and the red base, is something which is going to be loved, liked, appreciated by those who say, Mr. Praveen, you got late. We already have a YouTube channel. And we could have made this thing later then also, but you came now and our videos are there. So you want us to install one software, convert them into audios and upload them? I will say no. You can just click to upload, and Anchor is going to convert your video into an audio, and that audio will be ready to use the way you want to use it. So we'll do it now. RMLT, RMLT. Let me see how many. Can you wait for us to complete the creating? Dr. Catherine, no, I will not wait because I know you will do it. Uh, I cannot. Why would I? Because I know we will go on, and this was a private message, so I read it to everyone. I'm going to move ahead because I need to demonstrate to you, and when I'm going to demonstrate, I'll again come back to the same level of the beginning. So right now I'm going to point 5, and when I'll do the demonstration, I'll again come back to point 1, so we all will be together again. So a recording, you can record within the browser, the laptop, website, full screen. So messages, people will not comment, they will send you voice messages, 59 seconds. So voice messages. Library, everything that you have either recorded or you have uploaded, means you have already got some audios with you. You might be using some audio recording softwares, so you can upload them, or there's something which has been recorded here. Everything is saved in the library, and this is like your Google Drive, not the Google Drive. Everything that you do is saved here unless you delete it permanently. So this is like your audio drive or anchor drive, one drive, anchor drive, anything you can call it. This is the cloud storage, and no charge, no fee, no money involved. Transitions, you can select here, click, and then you'll find those pieces, those small interludes, segments, which can be inserted between two pieces of audios that you either upload or you record. So this is what we do. Now we start recording. Let me go skip these things. Now we start recording, and then it starts, and we keep on speaking, and then we stop, and then we have a sip of water. Then we start again, we record a 5 minutes one, and then we stop, then we record another one. So multiple segments can be recorded. Every segment will be there in the library, and by looking at the library, we know library is on the left hand side. We'll click on the plus button and everything comes to the right hand side. So the left hand side is your library, or the workshop, or the creators segment. The next segment is called episode builder. So you click or drag and drop, and you say my episode builder has got these pieces, and all these pieces will be together. So this is what happens. I'm just showing you this. We can edit it, and we, after editing it, we'll be clicking on the button called publish now, and we'll publish now. Remember, give it a title, give it a description, both are compulsory. You can schedule it, you can put a season number to it, you can give it an episode number, you can decide it's a full trailer or a bonus. Bonus is we don't make anymore. Trailers, no. Full episode, and clean, no explicit. If you are going to click on explicit by mistake and error, your podcast will start getting an E on the podcast, which says it is explicit, viewers discretion advised. So such things will happen. So with these thumbs up, let's go to the demonstration, because such like these are the ways we have, or this is the application. I'll demonstrate the application later on, the smartphone application. First of all, let me go to Anchor platform with you, and I'll do something. And meanwhile, I have got some solution as well. So Anchor dashboard is this one. Let me demonstrate to you. This is Anchor dashboard, my dear friends. And I've got 91 unique listeners in last 7 days. This is the plays, and the play is going to increase because of you. Settings, update settings. After making an account, you're going to see this one, and then you'll go to settings straight away, give it a name, a description. As I guess one of you asked whether this is editable. Yes, it is. Selected. This update art can be like updated. You update the cover art, upload a photo, or select one that they are suggesting. Category Hindi. So in Hindi we have, and I am searching for something. Yes, Malayalam is also there. Marathi is also there, means Nepali is also there. So there are many Indian languages here in this one. So clean content. Here, these three features might confuse you. Show anchor logo on the cover art. Here, on this logo, you want their logo. You don't want their like anchor logo, so don't select it. Show voice message button on anchor profile. You will say yes. Anchor profile will have the voice message button. Whosoever is going to visit your account will find a button called message, so they can message you. And the third one is include voice message link in every episode description. You can select it also, so that can be done. About you, Praveen Sharma, email ID, website, URL. you might not be able to edit this URL. So forget about it for now. These colors, you need to take internet's help to find out the hex codes for your favorite colors. So you can find out these hex codes, and then you can decide which color will be the background color of your profile. When you saw my profile, I guess you could see that. So I can do that probably the brown one that you saw that day, because this is the color that I got. So this one, and then you can give Instagram, YouTube, and Facebook links also to your account, so that people will be able to click and then they will be able to reach you. So this is what they do. Like, this is your Facebook, this is your Insta, and this is the link to, this is YouTube. Yes, this is my YouTube, this is my Facebook, and this is my Instagram, and these are certain things which are there. If you want to go to Insta, let me send this one. Insta, a teacher or can also have an Instagram. We also deserve to have a swag of our own, so we need to. This is my YouTube channel, so all these links will be shared with you through Linktree. Forget about subscribing or following or liking if you don't want to. Now, I did all these things. There's an interesting thing here. The delete account is at the bottom, and again come back to the top of the mountain here, save. So you save it, everything is saved, and after that it shows saved. So there's no separate message which comes. It comes saved, and within a few seconds, it again turns into save. So don't worry. Again, come back to your account. Now we'll make an episode. I guess, Dr. Catherine, we are together here now. Can I move ahead to make an episode? Mm, yes, done. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to click on new episode. And I guess you have already seen this, RLMT. Mm, done. I'll just share my screen again. Mm, okay, just a second. I am trying a solution to the audio sharing as well. And I click on done, share. Yes, WebEx needs an extension to share our computer audio. Mm, how to get that extension? Okay, we'll do that. But before that, let me come back, because I guess I can demonstrate, and it would be loving to see your podcast. So, my dear friends, this is the create your episode segment, and this is quite easy. You can guide your students, you can guide small children as well to do this. So, here it is: record, library, message, transitions, save episode, and settings. We are done with the settings. I'm going to click on record. Before that, if you have, I'm saying this thing, if you already have something with you that you want to upload and you don't want to record anything, click search for it. Let me find out. Yes, here are so many, a video and audio, everything will be accepted. So I can click here. Let me find out, maybe there is some small video. So there is a folder called Zoom. Yes. So these are certain videos. I can click on any video and upload, and the video starts getting uploaded, and Anchor is going to take out the audio. But unfortunately, these are all Zoom backgrounds. So if there is no audio, how can it get us an audio? So let me search out. Uh, it should be somewhere here. Now let's go to podcasting. Yes, all these are my podcast preparation things. So I can just upload anything for you to demonstrate, I guess. A video can be uploaded. I can click here. I can upload a video, and the video, if it has a sound, and then obviously you are going to be at an advantage of getting it converted into an audio. So that's what happens. CBC2. Yes, I have something. Just a second. Here it is. And this is MP4. Let me play it for you, and then I'll show you. First, I'm playing it to verify that yes, this is a video. This is a video. I want to convert my video into an audio. Selected. extracting audio from video. So this audio is extracted. Now you say that Praveen ji, we have got the audio from the video converted by Anchor, but we want to add some introduction to it, that was made for YouTube. Now we want to add something. So I would say, so what's the problem? Let's do it. This is done. If I click to upload, I can upload again. But right now, this is one segment. I'll click on record. Start recording. Select the microphone, please. I'm selecting the microphone. Many times, multiple microphones are there. There's one microphone to these earphones, the wireless ones. There's another microphone that I'm using. If you see this one, this is a condenser microphone, a professionally used podcasting microphone. There is a microphone in the webcam, and there is a microphone in the desktop also. So at present, I've got these many microphones. I'm selecting. Start recording. Hello, students. Now I am presenting to you the description, explanation, the recital of the poem by Robert Frost, The Road Not Taken. This is a presentation for you to help you out, to assist you, and to guide you for your examinations, and blah, 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 whatever. Like we are going to speak to introduce something, and then please listen to it. And after that, submit the assignments to my email ID, teacherparv@gmail.com. And this is the assignment that I am speaking now. Here is the poem coming to you. Stop recording. I stopped the recording. So retry upload. I'll just try it. Just a second. Is there any error from my side? Let me find out. May 24. Okay, that's an older one. March 24. Uploading. I might have lost internet for this one. It is processing. It takes a few seconds or less than a minute to record. You stop and then it is processing. So there is a smart tip for you that I might not be able to give you later on once you do it. By default, it is going to give the name of a date. Tarikh, जिसको बोलते हैं, date line is there. So you press on that pencil, press the backspace, intro to ROBERT. I would go with this. Done. And you can rename it also. Backspace, and you can say the road not taken main lesson, and press enter. So the renaming here happens like Moodle, who know Moodle. So what we do, we go to the pencil and rename it. Now, do you see one thing? Can you tell me, is there a difference between what we uploaded and the one which is there in the episode builder on the right hand side? The difference is in the name. The name is, I can change the name in my episode, but the library has the raw file. Raw means the original file is there. So this is there, and I'm clicking now on the plus. Can you see this? The blue one is the library source and the red one is a recorded one. But is it the correct sequence, or I should change the sequence? Can somebody help me? Is it the correct sequence, or I should change it? Like means 1 and 2 audios are there. If I upload it, should I change the sequence, or it's fine? Waiting for you. And the road note taken is quite an interesting poem. We have been teaching it the other way, like we teach it about an inspiration as well, but it also talks about the road not taken. So I'm asking you if you can hear me. I'm there. Or the plane has to crash and somebody has to find out the black box and find out what was the conversation between the pilot and the passengers. So is it the correct sequence, or something should go up and then something should go to the second place? Thank you. Here it is. What I do, there are 10 dots, vertical dots, 5, 5. So I can drag it. I can change the sequence. Do you want to hear something in between? Do you want to hear? So I'll go to transitions and I'll pick one transition. Maybe I'm picking the first one. I can play it. If I would have got the extension with me, then the sound would have come to you. I click. This comes to me. So I can select any of them. And I click on plus. Now again, and Dr. Joshua will say that again I have to change the sequence. So I'll drag it and put it in the middle. Now intro, and then an interlude, and then another segment. But do you remember? I have forgotten to add background music. So what should I do? The option is I can click on the small icon. I can go to library. Everything that I have done is in the library. So I'll click on the music icon. Suppose your music is ready and you don't want to do anything. I'm just removing them from the episode. just to start from the beginning. If you do not want to add background music, of course, nothing. But if you want to add it, then what would we do? Two audios, let's rename it for us. And I'll just do it main audio. And that is just for me, that I should be able to remember what I have prepared. And I'll do this. I'm going to add background music to this now, or this one. This already has background music, so I'll click here. And I'll have a library of certain samples, certain pieces which are given to me free, no charges, no copyright, no royalty. So I select the one that which is like which I feel that should be there. I play it. It plays into my ears. I check it. I click. I click on the tick mark here. I click on the preview to listen to how it works with the voice that I had. Means your work and the music will play together, and then I'll apply. When I click on apply, my dear friends, a new file gets created. The first file was original file without music. The second file is with music, which is in the background. How it comes? You can see this. 32 seconds have become 41 seconds. Why? Because introductory music, and then it goes down the moment you start speaking, and the moment you stop at the end, again the music goes up. So the standard way of applying the background music is being done by Anchor. You don't need to do anything. You just need to narrate and narrate and narrate. So this is what we have just done. And the transitions, if I talk about transitions, no, we already there in Anchor. You don't need to do anything. Anchor is self-sufficient, and if we are not you and I individually, and if we turn over ambitious, there is no end to it, my dear friends. You will say, sir, I want to apply another music piece. Anchor doesn't have good ones, but Anchor is giving us free of cost many of them. Of course, they are not Indian music, background music. And Indian background music, you have to have the one which is royalty free. So you have to download it from somewhere. There are many softwares on which you can design certain things, and then you can upload them on Anchor. You can use Audacity, and on Audacity you can prepare a complete audio and then upload it, rather than uploading pieces and pieces and pieces. So that comes when we are quite habitual of using technology. Here you can see a music icon, and the duration increased. So this is here. So what I'll do now, I'll click here. One segment has come. The second one, done. But interlude is required. So I'll click on this one, done. But sequencing is required, done. Three things done. After doing these three things, then what we do, we click on save the episode. However, the preview is 2 minutes and 55 seconds. We can click here and then we can listen. Save the episode. The moment I save, it asks for a title. It is going to ask me for a description as well. And then these two things are there, and then I can schedule it. I have already shown you. You can have season number, you can have episode number, and you can have this full clean. You can upload an image for every single episode you make. You can upload an image for every single episode you make. However, all this is optional. The default image of your show that you had will remain the image, the thumbnail for everything that you are doing, be it on Spotify or maybe Apple and everywhere. So write the description, and can you see 4,000 characters? It means you can post a complete article, or a good number of paragraphs here. So the text can be land here, can land here. Title can be given, and then you click on publish now, and it is published. And the moment it is published, you can share the link with your friends. And the moment it is published, it will also reflect in episodes, dashboard, episodes. You can see the one we recorded is a draft, but all others have been published. So if you want to share the link, now this comes, and you might say that, sir, we need to share the link with the students. I would say, so what's the problem? Either you show them the URL. This is your dashboard, my friends. You simply click on the third button. There are four buttons. Third button, copy the URL. Copy, go to chat or WhatsApp or anywhere and paste it. Or go to episodes and then click on the three dots and then find out copy link to this episode and then paste. So this is how you do. You can send them these links. Some of you might be familiar with embedding. Do you know embedding? EMBE, embedding. If you don't know, I'll skip. If you know, I'll answer. Embedding, anybody knows? Anji, if someone is aware of, no. So we'll skip it. However, embedding is what? Embedding is in which you take the code, embedding code, and then bring it to an article. Let me show you this thing. Like why would I delay anything for you? I'm there. In an article, within the article, you find the thumbnail of something and then you play it. For example, if I bring to you this one, and this is the article that I'm going to share with you. All the tutorials are here. Can you see a YouTube video here? Not on YouTube. This is called embedding. When you insert the visual and the usable version of something into an article, into an text. So here it is. So done. Now let me come back to Anchor. What we have done, we have learned all these things. However, I'm deleting this episode, my dear friends, because otherwise it would have got published and then there's nothing in it for now. And if you want me to speak on something, we can, but I'm going to demonstrate the mobile application. In this one, what we have done till now, it's a new thing for you, probably. One. Second, you need to spend time, you need to develop the, what I call it, technological appetite. So tech appetite. So if you spend time on this thing, if you spend time on looking at the interface, if you ask me, Praveenji or Praveen, that can also be there, Praveen, where is the button from where I can copy the link to my show? Then I would say, have you been able to scroll your mouse from one button to every button and then you found a button called copy URL? You say, no, I haven't done it. So, that is something which is going to slow us down. So I would say, have you explored your mobile phone completely? When you purchase a mobile phone, you purchase a mobile phone and then you are going to explore, every feature. There is a feature in my mobile phone and which is quite interesting. The feature is in which what we do, like in mobile phone, there's a button called digital well-being. I can set the time for my YouTube usage or my WhatsApp usage, that after these many hours of usage, my mobile phone stops that application and I'm no more able to use it. So that's an interesting find, but that curiosity has to be there. So please spend some time on Anchor. If you are not going to use it, make someone else use it. This is Anchor, which is the web version. What we do, we make an account, we do update settings and all these things, and then the look is like this data comes when your podcast has been launched and people are listening to it. Please remember, like with open eyes and ears, this is an instruction or an advice that the first episode should be the one which is going to be kept by you. You cannot delete the first episode without having multiple episodes. It says, yeah, are you like teasing me? Anchor says that you uploaded first episode and then you're deleting it because it was a trial. No, the first one has to go when it is good one. One. Second, the link that I have shared with you can be shared with anyone. They don't need to install any application. Anchor does not demand any installation. They can just go to this link as I have just sent, and anchor.fm/teacherperv, and then it is there. No link at all. So nothing at all. So here it is. Now, one question has come. I'm just trying to find out. No application, but already students have Spotify or they have Google Podcasts. So you are free from this guilt of making them install another application and getting a question from them, sir, Chinese to nahi hai na ye application. And then you tell them that, buddy, everything is known to Google about you. So there's no difference between US and China when it comes to internet and applications. So they know, they are already tracing. So this is Anchor, and I'll just share my mobile screen with you. And I'll just share it with you. I'm casting my mobile screen just to show you how it happens on the mobile phone. Right from, if you install an application, my dear friends, you can install the application. That is one thing. You install the smartphone application, which is there. And if you see this slide, I'll show you. Meanwhile, I'm connecting with it. Smartphone applications. Almost same. The same mobile phone that you have can be used. Apple and Google Play Store do have this thing. Now you install the application and click on sign up with email. Look, the same look comes here again. Click on sign up with email. Don't continue with Gmail or some other. Sign up, same name, email, password, the way we did it there on the web browser version. Now you'll get the confirmation email. दोनों जगह पे आपको, both the places you will be getting a confirmation, getting the confirmation email. After doing that, this is the interface. There we had that R, L, M, and T. Here we have this option: discover tools in your podcast. So why would I do this? I'll simply show you the actual mobile screen. Where is it? The projection. So my phone is casting and here it is. So you can see this is my mobile phone. Now, just a small example. My audio is processing and it will be there in my library here, and it will be there in the same library which is on the website, web version also. So after some time, this audio will be processed. This will be a collaborative recording. And my dear friends, it has to go from the application. That is one thing. From the application, I can send the invite friends link. You know where it is? Press the record button, click on invite friends. If I do not want to do it, suppose I don't want to do it, or I want to introduce this collaborative recording that I did with a resource person, there is a possibility that you want to record a podcast with someone. If you make a telephone call, you know what's the problem with the telephone call? The recording will have high volume of the caller, and the other person who's at the other end, whose voice is recorded in your mobile phone, will be lower than yours. So there's a possibility that you will end up editing for hours, and if there is an overlapping, god like comes to our rescue. Rather than doing invite friends, what I'll do in the mobile phone: record starting. Hello, friends. You have been listening to Podmooks for quite a long time now, and we haven't come up with a new episode. But today, we are coming up with a very small nano MOOC, an audio MOOC, and this audio MOOC is about introducing you to a small website which has got a big storehouse of learning and resources and material for us to be used. The name of the website is Pixabay, Pixabay. So this bay of pixels does have something which is not just images. It also has something which is videos, audios for us, and this is like the stock images, stock music pieces and videos, illustrations and vectors are there. So you can go to pixabay.com and you will find the options of downloading photos. You'll have the option of downloading illustrations, vectors, videos, and music. Vector and illustrations are something that designers use when they use Photoshop. And the beautiful thing about this website, Pixabay, is anything that you download from here, like it can be an image or a video, it is free. There is no commercial use stopped. They do not ban anything. So what you can do is you can just download an image in the desired size, pixels, MBs, KBs that you want, and they simply tell you that if you credit them, it is good. If you do not credit them, they won't mind, but that is highly appreciated. So this is what you do on Pixabay. You can make your account and contribute as well. So this nano MOOC under the pod MOOCs, the audio MOOCs, is on Pixabay. Of course, we have got more websites like Pexels or Unsplash like this, but Pixabay is the one which is our pick in this episode. Thank you very much for joining. Keep listening. We'll come up with a detailed episode on some other technology tool for you to enhance your learning. Thank you. I stopped recording it. So this episode I'm going to publicize. So I stopped recording. You see, I stopped recording. I clicked on the stop button. Now I'm going to add background music to it. This background music that I'm adding, I'm just listening to something like, I'll say this one. Okay. I'll add this one. The moment I click on plus, the background music gets applied to my file, and it gives me the option to save. I click on save. The moment I click on save, it says, Praveen, you want to save it to the episode or the library? I'll say, what is this? If I save it to the library, then later on I can use it in the episode. But if I save it to an episode, of course it is going to save in the library. So here I'm going to give it a name. This is called a nano pod, MOOC, on Pixar Bay 4 graphics and more. So this is the title that I'm giving. I'm just copying this title so that I can copy this thing. I'm clicking on add recording to episode. So the recording goes to an episode, my dear friends, and I'm going to click on publish after it is processed. So give it a few minutes, few seconds here, and I recorded, added the background music, and I'm going to click on publish. The moment it says processing is done. This much time YouTube also takes if you're uploading, and it processes and makes it public. So just a few seconds, few more seconds. I clicked on tool and then I recorded, I added to the episode. But if I see, even my library has it, if you want to see, even my library has this, and my audio is still processing. This is the one that I recorded with all of you. So I cross it on the top. If I want to bring something to the library, there is a button on the top. You can tell me right or left hand side called import. So you can bring everything which is there in your mobile phone as well. But the video upload is allowed in the browser where the audio is extracted from the video. So you click on publish, give it a name. So I'm giving it a name. I'm giving it some description, and I'm going to give it a season number. And I'm not sure which episode it is going to be. I'm going to make it sixth episode. And no, it has to be seventh one, I guess. And I'll say publish. I could have scheduled it. So it is published. Share the episode, copy the link, and go to WhatsApp and go to the chat which is happening with all of you. Why would I do that? I'll simply go to anchor.fm/podmoocs, audio moocs, and let me see whether the episode is there. Can you see somebody? Can you see that? अगर कोई देख पा रहा हो तो, if someone is there, I'll simply click on the share button. I'll get a URL. I'll click on the URL. I'll copy it. I'll go to the chat with all of you and we'll drop it. This is the link and I'll play it for me. Please do listen to it. Please click and then find out whether it is there or not. Thank you, Gajananji. After a few minutes, maybe sometimes 10 minutes or 30 minutes, the same podcast which is uploaded on Anchor. See, Anchor is our creator, Anchor is the distributor. But when it is being distributed, it takes time. Like you got something from Daryaganj and then Old Delhi, and then your book published, and then it reaches Haryana first, and then it takes time to reach Chandigarh, or it takes time to reach you in the southern part of India. So it means that much time is required. So after that much means doesn't mean those many days, but within half an hour, 1 hour, your shows will start coming up in other platforms as well, be it Podmooks, Spotify, or Apple Podcasts, or Google Podcasts. So that happens. So if you want to reach me, here it is. And if you want all the tutorials which are related, which have been explained, here it is. And this link is also for Dr. Lal, because he mentioned this thing, and this is my responsibility that I should be like specifying it. There is a beauty of this blog post. This is video tutorial, and this is again a video tutorial. This is the PowerPoint presentation which is there. You can just see it. This is a session that I took for NCRT, and this is a SlideShare PowerPoint presentation embed that you can see. All the slides that you have just seen are there. And there are few more things. The editing part can be seen by you in the presentations, because if you are really going to move ahead into podcasting, then of course I'll be there to assist you. And this is Hindi. So if you want to look in Hindi, then you can do it. And if you are going to translate the same tutorials in your own languages, also in our all rich regional languages, you're welcome to like help me out in this. And this is all these, or this pod MOOCs. These are audio tutorials. Audio tutorials means this one, like this is using Anchor to make pod MOOCs. So you can just go to pod MOOCs. This is a very interesting thing which came to my mind, that these are audio tutorials. What about having an interesting thing that I'm going to just going to show you? If I type it here, Google Classroom Teacher Parv podcasts, and yes, Spotify. It's a very nice thing to find yourself. So how to create and manage Google Classroom? Let me give you this link now. How many of you will think of having something in the ears and then doing things on the screen, rather than shifting from a either dekho re, okay, ye karna hai, pause, then come back and then do, and then come back again, okay, see this, and then come back again. Which one is better? That somebody's tuting you, somebody's training you with the plug in your ears, and then you are following the commands and you're doing all these things. So this is what we did in PodMoocs. We have prepared some audio tutorials. You can see how to make podcasts, and the latest one is Anchor smartphone application. So if I share this link with you, which is of Spotify, this is for Anchor application. So what do? You just listen to this podcast, and I'm explaining everything, keeping in mind that somebody is hearing me rather than watching me. But if you insist on, like you say that no, we want to watch it, then this is my channel. Here you have got tutorials of Anchor, and you can watch it the same way you have been doing, and that has also done well. This is, you recognize this. This is only a six minutes musical tutorial. So completely up to you. Now, uh, putting the disclaimer that if I have covered it, means the topic, doesn't mean you have understood it. Means I'm saying it as a responsible teacher, that if I have completed my presentation does not mean that you have understood everything. You will be spending some time on it. Probably it is a new thing. I'm still doubtful whether you know about podcasting and you can be a podcaster or not.